Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, Barakatah. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well, and peace and salutations to Yahakim out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the Brother Zechariah with another video, and I'm going to be using an article from the aptly titled EndOfTheAmericanDream.com, and the title reads, "Over the last 7 days, our planet has been violently shaken by 144 major earthquakes." And that's a beautiful title, a very spiritual title, because the number 7 in the Bible stands for completion, and we know 144 as the 144,000 elect, which are 12,000 men from the tribes of Israel. These are truly beautiful times, Akim. You're seeing Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai manifest himself more and more into this wicked world, and that's how the 144,000 elect are going to come down on you heathens when we get into our power seat like a major earthquake. And look at all that destruction. It's like a web. Within the past few days, we have seen an enormous magnitude 7.3 earthquake hit Venezuela and a giant magnitude 8.2 earthquake hit Fiji. Where will the next one strike? To many of us, it is becoming exceedingly clear that something very unusual is happening to our planet, and there is something very unusual happening to this planet. As it says in 2nd Esdras chapter 9, I'm going to start at verse 1. "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself," which is what I'm doing by keeping my eyes in the news and in these scriptures and making these videos or epistles. "And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." These unusual times, as it said in that article. "Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world," which we're clearly seeing right now, as it said, there are 144 earthquakes in the last 7 days, and you can clearly see these people are getting into an uproar. Racial tensions are brewing, and these other nations are getting sick of Esau, the so-called white man, and starting to buck up against him, and eventually get their licks in on him during World War III when they shoot their missiles over onto Babylon the Great, also known as the United States. I went and looked it up, and I was astounded to learn that the crust of the earth has been shaken by 144 major earthquakes over the last 7 days, and that includes more than 50 on Sunday alone. And remember, these are not small earthquakes. The USGS considers any earthquake that is at least a magnitude 4.5 to be significant, and they are happening so rapidly right now that it is difficult to keep up with them. Usually, only earthquakes that cause death and destruction get attention from the mainstream media, and that was definitely the case with the huge quake that hit the northern coast of Venezuela on Tuesday. A major earthquake of magnitude 7.3 struck the northern coast of Venezuela on Tuesday and shook buildings as far away as the capital Caracas, the U.S. Geological Survey said. The quake was centered near the town of Carapano, an area of poor fishing communities, and was felt as far away as neighboring Colombia to the east and nearby island nations like Trinidad and Tobago and St. Lucia to the west and north. This is certainly the last thing that the people of Venezuela need at the moment. Their currency was just devalued, and at this point it is so worthless that people are literally throwing it into dumpsters. And this is all part of prophecy as well, because you Venezuelans are of the tribe of Asher, which is from the northern tribes, the tribes of Israel, and this is happening to you for your wickedness, for not turning back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because you can best believe that there are brothers, maybe not in Venezuela itself, or at least not to my knowledge, but there are brothers pushing these videos in the Spanish language, so you northern tribes, Jakes, have no excuse for not turning back to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and turning away from sweet baby Jesus, Caesar Borgia. And this brings me to Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. And we're seeing the beginning of this with you Venezuelans, with all these calamities befalling you, each one worse than the last, as well as 2/3 you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in America as well. A lot of you jakes are getting shot in the streets by these cops. These Edomites are showing their fangs to you through these videos on social media, them calling the cops on you and just being racist towards you. And it's all going to boil over to a race war where they're going to be killing y'all in large numbers outright. But the third shall be left therein, which is speaking of the righteous 1/3, which the 144,000 are a part of. Verse 9, and I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh is my God. So then, you sincere Akim out there, don't fear none of these things that are about to happen. Just endure until the end, so you may receive that crown of life. And now I'm going to go to Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And that he is speaking of that righteous 1/3, which the 144,000 are a part of. And we're fastly approaching into the nitty-gritty of Jacob's trouble, Salakia. We're just going to be complete pandemonium out here, where the only thing that's going to save you is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai being on your side and having you in his good graces. So you brothers just pray and fast and do whatever need be not to fall out of this truth. According to media reports, the quake lasted for approximately 2 minutes, and it really shook people up. The following comes from Reuters. I feel like I'm about to faint. I'm shaking. It was long, said telemarketing worker Shini Fuentes, 22, speaking outside her work building in eastern Caracas. I'm relieved that it doesn't seem like damage was that bad. We would have been even more affected given Venezuela's economic crisis. There are already people eating from the garbage and buildings aren't well made, she told Reuters. The other day I noted that the magnitude 8.2 quake that just hit Fiji was the second largest deep focus earthquake ever recorded, and this quake in Venezuela was highly unusual as well. In fact, seismologist Stephen Hicks says that it was one of the largest ever recorded in that entire region. M7.3 earthquake today along the northern coast of Venezuela is one of the largest ever recorded earthquakes along the boundary between the Caribbean and South American plates. There was an M7.7 quake to the west in 1900, but this will have preceded detailed instrumental recordings. And this earthquake came right on the heels of an extremely active 48 hours for global seismic activity. According to the Daily Mail, the Ring of Fire was shaken by a total of 69 major earthquakes on Sunday and Monday. 69 major earthquakes have hit Earth's most active geological disaster zone in the space of just 48 hours. 16 significant tremors, those at magnitude 4.5 or above, shook the Pacific Ring of Fire on Monday, following a spate of 53 that hit the region Sunday. Salaki. The vast majority of the earthquakes that shake our planet take place along the Ring of Fire. It roughly encircles the Pacific Ocean, and it runs right up the west coast of the United States. As the Ring of Fire has become more seismically active over the past several months, it has increased concerns that the big one may soon be coming to California. Just check out this excerpt from a Daily Mail article that was just published. The tremors have raised concerns that California's big one, a destructive earthquake of magnitude 8 or greater, may be looming, and the United States is not going to escape any of these coming calamities, these earthquakes, famines, or pestilences. It's going to get it the worst because this is Babylon the Great, that great whore that has made the nations of the world drunk off her wine. And just remember, a couple of years ago, that movie with The Rock called San Andreas came out, a little bit of predictive programming. Scientists have previously warned that Ring of Fire activity may trigger a domino effect that sets off earthquakes and volcanic eruptions elsewhere in the region. Scientists assure us that it is only a matter of time before the West Coast is hit by major seismic activity, and I even included a major seismic event on the West Coast in my apocalyptic novel about the future of America. We are seeing earthquakes increase in frequency and intensity all over the planet because this is the highest beginning to visit the world in which he made, and they are starting to happen in places that we don't normally expect. For instance, just check out what happened in Italy last week. A number of earthquakes struck the region of Molise on the nights of August 15th and August 16th and the morning of August 17th. An earthquake was also felt in Le Marche near the port of Ancona. A magnitude 5.2 earthquake struck 4 kilometers from the southeastern town of Monteselfene, a village of 1,348 people in the region of Molise on the night of August 16th, just after 8 p.m., according to Italy's National Institute for Geophysics and Volcanology, which monitors seismic activity. But until major shaking starts happening in the continental United States, most Americans are not going to pay attention. It simply is not normal for 144 major earthquakes to happen in just 1 week. In addition, dozens of volcanoes are currently erupting all over the globe. We appear to have entered a time when the crust of our planet is going to become increasingly unstable, and it doesn't take a genius to figure out that this is going to have very serious implications for the future of our society, because it's going to be the end of Esau's rulership. That's why the Most High is bringing all these calamities to show the world who its true ruler is. Now I'm going to close it off in 2nd Esdras chapter 15. I'm going to start at verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, which is what I'm doing right now by making this video epistle, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithfulness shall die in their for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So we're not worried about you scoffers out there, because soon enough Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is going to put those terrors on you, and you're going to learn who the true men of the Lord are, and who the scoffers and the weak are, which are you brute beasts out there. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, such as these deadly earthquakes, again 144 in the last 7 days. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. And pursuant to Malachi 1 verse 4, who are the wicked? You Edomites, you so-called white people, and we're seeing the fruits of your labor: poisoned water, poisoned air, GMO foods, just rampant homosexuality and transgenderism, just complete madness that's destroying the world. But first and foremost, what you've done to the children of the Most High, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're going to pay for that, Esau. You're going to pay for touching the apple of the Most High's eye, and we're going to do double unto you what you did to us, but in righteousness. Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually, which the sincere men of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai are doing daily, not only on the highways and byways, but through these videos and prayer. Verse 9, and therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. So you heathens, and you 2/3 you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, but chiefly you, Esau, the so-called white man, you're not going to escape the judgment of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. You're just going to sit there and take it, because you have no real power. You were designed to show what a wicked rulership is, and then to be destroyed afterwards. So with this video, I hope you sincere Akim were edified. Keep strong and keep pushing this word. We're at the end of this thing. So I'm going to say Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharala, and until next time, Shalom.